Hi. So I'm back. I was gonna do this yesterday, but I didn't forget. But I mean, didn't have the appointment when I decided to do it at the time. But yesterday was our third and final post-placement interview. So that went well, and everything looks good, and we should be going to court before the end of the year, hopefully for tax purposes, um, to finalize the adoption, so we'll be good to go. So that's exciting. So that's why I didn't post anything yesterday, and I'm going to do this now. It is lunchtime. You might hear Caillou in the background. He's doing his usual, eating his lunch while watching Caillou and learning English. So as I'm sure I said before, Caillou, I believe, is why he knows 52 words. You can probably understand a little over half of them, which for someone who's only been in the country and around English for what is today? Today is the 11th, 2 days short of 6 months. That's pretty good because I think the normal developmental thing says that 50 words to say, not completely understandable, but can say 50 words is normal for a regular English-born 23-month-old. So he's ahead of schedule, so that's good. Um, we said no TV, we're never going to do TV, but that's impossible. I'm sure I've mentioned that before in other ones, but Caillou's pretty good. I think he learns a lot from it, and it's a good show, no violence, good messages, stuff like that, so we don't feel too bad about it. And that's just his lunch thing. He knows when Caillou's over at 12:52 that he turns it off and it's time to go for a nap. So rigid schedules, people, they work. When he wasn't on a rigid schedule, getting him to do certain things was like, ugh. But now he knows I eat lunch at 12 while Caillou's on. 12:52, Caillou's over. I am done with my lunch and my cookie, and I turn the TV off. I grab my stuff and I head upstairs and we're going. But that's not what I'm here to talk about, so let's just cut to the chase. I really need to stop going off on tangents. I'll get better at this, seriously. So last week I was explaining, excuse me, why I don't, why we chose who we chose, and all of that. And hopefully I didn't offend anybody. Sometimes I tend to talk, and I'm a little sarcastic at times, so I don't mean to offend anybody. Adoption's a great thing no matter which route you go. For us, this was the best route, and I explained why it was the best route, why we didn't go domestic or anything like that. Um, in our experiences, domestic has got a lot of horror stories, and so we're really turned off by it. But there's a lot of good stories, probably way more good stories than there are horror stories. But for us, what we saw, friends' experiences and stuff like that, there's some stuff we didn't want to take the risk to go through. So I might have come off a little harsh on that, so I apologize. Um, so basically, I was trying to think of what to talk about, and I guess I would talk about, whoa, that's weird. I would talk about kind of what to expect. I didn't know what to expect when we walked into that office the first time for what we thought was just to sign some papers, and it ended up being like this 2.5 hour gut wrenching I don't want to say interrogation. It wasn't that bad. I mean, it was a good experience, but it's if you're not ready for it, man. I just remember being emotionally whipped after that thing because it's why are you choosing adoption? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? How would you do this? How would you do that? You go through your whole history. I mean, even prior to that, when you're doing the application, you're going to need to write your own autobiography and do all that stuff, and it just gets so, you know, it's just a lot of stuff to go through, a lot of stuff to try to remember, and then you're sitting down in this room thinking you're just there for 10 minutes just to get your pamphlets and see what this is all about and schedule your home study, and it was the home study right there, so we were a little surprised. Um, about our relationship and how we met and how we grew up and what our marriage is like, and what are our parenting styles going to be, which is really hard to answer because you don't. We had we had our parenting style. Well, we keep to it pretty well. I think every parent, adoption or non-adoption, is naive on what it's going to be like, and you really don't know till you get there what you're going to do and how you're going to react to certain situations. You need a lot of patience, and I lack patience. That I believe was my main fault during the home study that I discussed is my lack of patience. I will say in the 6 months he's been home, my patience has improved greatly. I've learned to be much more patient. I still have some work to do, but for the most part, I mean, I'm not hauling off and hitting the kid, but during temper tantrum time, I early on I didn't deal well with it, but now I can just sit back and let him do it. Yeah, yeah, that's a bear. Rawr. Uh-oh, bear's gonna get Caillou. Um, so my patient, so you're gonna have to talk about your negatives, and you're really gonna have to be honest about all this stuff. Um, so you go through that. They're gonna make you do classes, usually online. I think that's a state or a federal rule. I mean, it's not. Uh, I don't think it's by agency. And I think I said before, they're good. They'll be helpful in the future. They don't help you how to parent. And I suggest taking a toddler class because most likely, I mean, if you know you're going to get a toddler, if you're going to get someone 13, 14, 15, 16 plus, I would definitely, they work a lot different than babies. And it's a whole different ball game. And we weren't prepared for it. So I'm saying to you, prepare for it. And you got to do those. They're going to go through all your financial stuff. They're going to want to make sure that you got the money there. Make sure find out all the money you can get, whether from your job. I mean, some places, my wife's work, they do a $5,000 credit. So when this is finalized, they'll just give us a check for $5,000. You can add that into your savings and everything. Make sure you know that the taxes in the U.S. is weird. Looks like this is the last year. That's why we want to get this finalized right away. The taxes are going to be gone, from what it sounds like. Right now, there's a tax credit, which is helpful for us because my wife does a lot of freelance stuff, so we usually pay a lot in taxes. My son's going to come give me a piece of chicken. Oh, you're giving the kitty a piece of potato chip. That's very nice of you. See, Caillou does that because usually he tries to kill the cat. And Caillou has an episode where he plays with his cat all the time, and I think it's coming across as good. Hi. She's fine. She's fine. Hold on, I'm gonna pause this. Oh, that was fun. Um, Almost got ugly. Um, what was I saying? Duh. Well, I can't remember. Oh, finances. Yeah, taxes. You probably won't have to worry about it because there won't be a tax credit, so I guess we won't even bother going through that. Um, that doesn't matter who you vote for, um, from what I understand, but whatever. Um, you can look in that or talk to your tax accountant. But I'm pretty sure this is the end of the year. Might be for domestic adoption, maybe but I can't remember what I read. It was right before we got them in April that they were talking about what was going to happen next year. So I would look into that. But look into all those little things because you can add that if you're on the line of where they want you to be financially. You might be missing something that you get. So that's pretty much where it's at. You just got to make sure that you're ready to go and prepared to get into every little nook and cranny of your life, and you might want to just really sit down with your significant other and think about how are you guys going to be parents? What do you? I mean, my wife and I disagree on certain things, and we're pretty honest that I'm sure I'll change as he gets older, and you do start really worrying. When he's not there, you can easily say, hey, he doesn't need to wear a helmet. But then when you got him, you're like, oh man, you got to put him in a bubble. Um, I rode my bike, and all my friends rode our bikes every day for years and years and years, no helmet. I don't understand why. I see people on those. I see kids now, 5, 6 years old, on those little scooters where it's the little skateboard and you hold the little thing and you're off the ground that much, and they're in full padding and helmet. Why? I mean, you may as well keep them in the helmet to walk or climb up a stair or a step into your house. It's Those are bigger falls than if he falls down riding a scooter at like 1.3 miles an hour. I think that's excessive, and that's where me and my wife disagree because she's overly protective in most things, and we'll see. I mean, if he's riding in the street, fine, wears a helmet, but if he's riding on the sidewalk up and down our block, I don't see the point. I mean, kids didn't wear helmets for a long time, much longer than they're wearing helmets now. And I don't know anybody that I grew up with in high school or middle school or elementary school that has any massive head injury due to riding their bike without a helmet on. But they talk about that, so you probably, they want to know things like that. Ours did anyway. Um, so that's pretty much that process, and it's a lot of work. You got to put in a lot of extra hours to do those online classes. Um, and there's tons of paperwork. You're going to have to go get fingerprinted, get your whole biometrics done by the government, which is real fun. You're going to have to make sure, if you have a good agency, they will do almost all the paperwork for you. I know reading some of the boards, um, people are like, well, I can't figure out where my A600 is or where this is. It's like, man, I don't even know what they're talking about because our agency handled all of it. So I didn't have to sit there and worry and call the government every other day about some A600 TCB or whatever. Um, I would really look into it. And if they're not handling it, bother them every day about what to do and how to handle it. Because, I mean, there were some issues that got thrown in my direction and I had to take care of them a little. The Department of Homeland Security, this is going to tag this video right here. It's pretty scary how incompetent they are. They're known, I guess, through the agencies to lose things. Um, I will go through that story in the next video. It's a very interesting story for fun. Oh yeah, spin around. Whoa. Whoa. Yeah, yeah. Your mama's right there. Finish it, and you get a cookie. Um, I'm going to tell that story. It's a good story. So I'll leave that there, and I'll leave this here, and I'll call it a day on this. And I'll put that other video up tomorrow, because I'll probably record it right now and put it up tomorrow. So thanks for watching. If you have questions or you want to know anything or want me to answer anything, please put in the comments, message me. I'll put my Twitter out there. You can do that. You can follow me on Twitter, although it's just sports betting usually. Yes, Caillou! I'm me and my friends talking about who we're betting that day. Yeah, it's my fun. But I do other stuff. So thanks for watching and take care. Bye.